Okay, Manchester United won the FA Cup, but does that really change anything? Ladies and gentlemen, with you Manchester United, the team that has disappointed all season and managed to mask it all with an important victory. I really don't want to take away from the Red Devils' victory, but repeating the first question, does this really change anything? Does this change the fact that Manchester United lost their place in the Champions League knockout stage to Copenhagen? Does it change the fact that the team finished 8th in the Premier League? Speak up, fan. Let's talk a little about this. Manchester United were the FA Cup champions this Saturday at Wembley for the 13th time in their history. With this achievement, they get even closer to the biggest champion, Arsenal, who have 14 cups in the competition. This is the first FA Cup trophy that Manchester United has won since 2016, when Dutch coach Louis van Gaal won that competition. Therefore, 2 Dutch players in a row winning this cup with Manchester United, who managed to beat Manchester City 2-1, avenging the defeat by the same score last season in the final of the same competition in the same stadium. This Manchester United managed, within its own style of play, to execute it very well. It's difficult to watch this match and think that the result was, in some way, unfair. Yes, Manchester City had chances. Yes, Haaland put a ball on the post, but Manchester United, every time they attacked, created a sense of danger for Manchester City's high line. Manchester United's attack had the advantage against Manchester City's defense many times, if not all. With this trophy so important in a season full of stumbles and criticism, Manchester United stood out by achieving victory with 2 goals scored by their young promises, Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo, both just 19 years old. This achievement goes beyond a simple result on the field. It symbolizes renewal and a glimpse of a brighter future for the club. Despite not being at a moment of full success and facing numerous challenges, Manchester United found hope in the midst of adversity. Garnacho and Mainoo represent not only the new generation of talent, but also the club's ability to reinvent itself and look to the future with optimism. The decisive contribution of these young players in the final demonstrates the importance of investing in the youth teams and developing internal talent. This title, therefore, is not just another trophy on the shelf. He carries with him the promise of better times and reinforces confidence in the club's player development strategy. Garnacho and Mainoo, with their decisive goals, brought not only the victory, but also the certainty that Manchester United is on the right path to returning to the top, building a competitive team prepared to face the challenges that lie ahead. While the club still faces criticism and necessary adjustments, this moment of glory serves as a beacon of hope. The goals from Garnacho and Mainoo not only secured the cup, but also ignited a flame of optimism among the fans and within the club itself, indicating that, with hard work and persistence, the future could be brighter than the present. In fact, it is the first time in the history of the FA Cup that 2 teenagers have scored in a final. We have Garnacho and Mainoo putting their names not only in the history of Manchester United, but also in the traditional and important FA Cup. Garnacho played very well, as did Rashford, who returned to the starting lineup. Manchester United's second goal, which ended at the feet of Mainoo, began with a spectacular turn of the ball from Rashford to Garnacho, followed by a precise assist from Bruno Fernandes to Mainoo. A very beautiful goal. In the classic between Manchester United and Manchester City, the first goal of the match was scored in unusual circumstances, the result of a serious defensive failure by the blue team. In a move apparently under control, Gvardiol headed the ball back to goalkeeper Ortega, but did so in a disastrous way, covering the German archer. Communication failed and indecision between the 2 players resulted in an unexpected goal for Manchester United. This mess was shared between Gvardiol, who misjudged the strength and direction of the header, and Ortega, who was not well positioned and was caught off guard by the ball's trajectory. At the end of the game, Manchester United goalkeeper Onana, who until then had been having a solid performance, ended up making a crucial mistake that gave Manchester City hope. With a shot from outside the area, Jeremy Doku took a risk and, to the surprise of many, Onana was unable to save, allowing the goal that ignited the second half. This moment was crucial for City, who pressed incessantly in search of an equalizer. Despite the suffocation and the chances created by City, Manchester United managed to resist and emerge victorious. The match was marked by these moments of individual failure that almost changed the course of the game, but in the end, the Old Trafford team stood firm and secured the victory, despite the tension of the final minutes. Manchester United fans once again let out the champion cry for the second consecutive season in a national cup. Erik ten Hag, in 3 cup finals, won 2 titles, losing only to Pep Guardiola in last season's FA Cup final. In fact, Ten Hag is the first coach to beat Guardiola in a national cup final in the Guardiola era, in 8 seasons at the helm of Manchester City. The result was fair, reflecting the performance on the field. With this title, Manchester United goes to the Europa League, which rearranges the European places for English clubs for next season. Chelsea, which would go to the Europa League if Manchester City wins, loses that place and goes to the Conference League playoffs, while Newcastle is left without a European place. Thus, the entire Big Six, plus Aston Villa, will be in European competitions next season. Despite the celebration, Erik ten Hag's future in charge of Manchester United is still uncertain. At the time of recording this video, there was no clear definition of whether he would remain at the club. Manchester United's new head of football, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has not commented on ten Hag's guarantee of staying, increasing speculation about a possible change in coaching. According to the English newspaper The Guardian, there were rumors that ten Hag would be fired regardless of the season's outcome. This uncertainty has generated great anxiety among fans and within the club itself. The lack of an official statement denying this news could be a sign that the Manchester United board is, in fact, considering a change of manager. The feeling that ten Hag will be fired is increasingly palpable. The club's silence in the face of speculation reinforces the idea that a decision about his departure may have already been made behind the scenes. Despite the title won and the positive impact that some young players, such as Alejandro Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo, have had under his management, the criticism and setbacks throughout the season weigh against ten Hag. Ten Hag's situation exemplifies the volatility and demands of modern football, where immediate results and the pressure to succeed are relentless. Even with renewed hope for young talent and a recent trophy, Lieutenant Hag's position looks increasingly untenable. Manchester United's future could be about to undergo a new twist, with significant changes to the club's technical leadership and, possibly, strategy. While fans celebrate the recent achievement, uncertainty regarding coaching leaves a shadow over the club's immediate future. The next few weeks will be decisive in defining the direction of Manchester United and whether or not Erik ten Hag will continue in charge of the team. This title brings back memories of the true size of Manchester United, something that seemed to be in the background due to the last decade of challenges and inconsistencies. The presence of Sir Alex Ferguson, visibly happy and singing "Glory, Glory Man United," brought a sense of nostalgia and hope to the fans. Since Ferguson's departure, the club seemed to have stagnated, losing the hegemony it once had. Now, with this recent achievement, there is a glimpse that the club is trying to get back on its path to glory. Although this title is an important milestone for the present, it still says little about the future. The new board, led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe, faces the daunting task of not only keeping the club competitive, but also redefining and expanding Manchester United's greatness. The challenge is monumental, requiring a clear strategic vision and a commitment to excellence both on and off the field. The path back to the top will not be easy and will require patience and hard work. The recent achievement should be seen as a first step, a symbol that the club can once again become a dominant force in world football. However, sustainable success will depend on wise management decisions, the development of young talent, and the ability to attract and retain high-level players. The board has a responsibility to rebuild the confidence of the fans, who yearn for a return to the glory days. That includes not just immediate results, but also building a legacy that can rival the golden years under Ferguson. Investing in infrastructure, improving player training, and creating a winning culture are just some of the areas that need to be addressed. So while the recent title offers a reason to celebrate and a brief reprieve from the hardships of the last decade, it also serves as a reminder of the work that still needs to be done. Manchester United has the opportunity to redefine its future and re-establish itself as a global football powerhouse. To achieve this, it will be essential that the new board implements a long-term vision that honors the club's glorious past while building an even brighter future. The challenge now is to turn this achievement into a starting point for a period of renewal and continued success. If successful, The next few years could be remembered as the beginning of a new golden era for Manchester United, an era that not only recaptures past glory but also establishes new heights of excellence and achievement.